Hello, my name is J. Roger Wankee, and welcome to Insight, the program that speaks with interesting people. Today my guest is an uninformed voter who wants to know how the current political situation happened. Please welcome Nimrod Zickzer. Nimrod, welcome to the show.
Wahapa!
While it's such a short time to go through the entire political history of this country, let me just say that currently the political situation is in turmoil, and hopefully we've reached a level of peace and prosperity that can be brought into manageable governance rather than the highly reactive state that we've suffered from for the last 4 to 5 years.
What happened?
Well, the last presidential election from 2016 had a lot of red flags in hindsight we saw. Number one, a Democratic candidate, Hillary Clinton, who was not well liked, although politically connected. She went against an outsider, Donald Trump, who played to the rural folks and gave them the populist chants that he encouraged, and those were also abetted by Fox News, which saw him as a newsworthy candidate. Russia also got involved, saying, we can back this person. He seems like someone we can manipulate.
Wahapa!
The Democratic candidate, Hillary Clinton, couldn't even connect with women of her party, much less the rural, disaffected white male. Donald Trump seemed to connect with them and played to their base fears about racism and economic hardship, claiming that he would clean up the swamp that was Washington and represent them.
Wahapa!
Trump was abetted by Fox News, which hammered away at Hillary Clinton over minor discrepancies while promoting his candidacy as the one. And he was also had the Russians involved in sort of manipulations through social media, Facebook and whatnot. And of course, this was a surprise on election night when he in fact won, although not by popular vote. The Electoral College decided to go with him as the conservative movement wanted revenge for the past 8 years of Obama.
Wahapa!
Trump, pugnacious by nature, was not a good governor, but he knew how to rile up folks. And the series of government officials who cycled through his White House is one of the longest laundry lists of officials who have come and go, a revolving door, if you may. However, he was impeached for his collusion with Russia and refused throughout his presidency to badmouth Vladimir Putin, who was surely behind the Russian interference in the 2016 American election.
Wahapa!
Although Trump was impeached by the House of Representatives, where the Democrats held a majority, he was not convicted in the Senate, even though much of the evidence was right in front of us. The Republican-led Senate, which had a majority, refused to convict.
Wahapa!
Emboldened by beating those charges, which Donald Trump has done all of his life, delaying and obfuscating and hiring lawyers to harass and bad-mouthing his opponents constantly, he was then off to the races, as they say. Nothing was holding his behavior in check, and it became more and more unraveled. The final straw came, of course, after the 2020 election, which he lost the popular vote by over 5 million votes, and the Electoral College, which he did not get the 270 votes you need, and Joe Biden, his opponent, won far more than 270 and is the legitimate President of the United States as stated in our Constitution. If all this seems like a lot of gobbledygook, just imagine what the Trump supporters have been fed for the last 4 to 5 years as they refuse to believe the election was fair and there was no evidence of fraud. However, Trump hammered away on Republican administrators as well, saying that the election was fraudulent. He was robbed of votes when in fact he lost. And the fact is that he refuses to admit that he is a loser.
Wahafa!
The episode, January 6th at the Capitol, where he riled up the crowd of white angry men who were parts of conspiracy militias, including members of the police and armed forces, then decided that they would storm the Capitol, demanding some sort of answers, when in fact the answer is they lost. And they refused to accept it, many of them busting into the chamber, waving Confederate flags and anti-Semitic and certainly racist tropes as they thrashed away at the Capitol, and the congressmen and senators had to flee for their lives and locked out, only protected by the brave actions of some of our Capitol police, who kept them safe and kept the protesters and the rioters and the seditionists, if you will, at bay.
Wahapa!
I know this is a lot of information and analysis for you to take in, so what do you say we just get an ice cream? This is J. Roger Wankee for Insight. Thanks for watching.